And do you believe in God?
I don't know what that God is.
Hey everyone, my name is Oscar and welcome to my channel. Here we like to discuss everything from a Christian perspective. And today I want to talk about culture. And I want to discuss culture more often on this channel because people say that politics is downstream from culture. So that means that it's influenced heavily by what's happening in culture. And I think the same holds true for Christianity, especially for young people. And my wife, she knows that, sometimes I have trouble with YouTube with really trying to figure out what I want to show. And occasionally she sends me videos and she says, hey, check this out. And this is the video that I want to check out today with you guys. So I have not watched this at all yet. I just fired it up. It's about Michele Lamy. She's a fashion designer. And we're going to watch and see what she says about God. And I opened up some tabs just based off of my top line thoughts. And I'm going to share what just came to my mind as I was preparing for this video. So let's just watch it together.
And do you believe in God?
I don't know what that God is. I believe, I believe in DNA. I believe that genes have memory. I really believe in civilization. It's what I want to know most. Well, let's say I don't have a religion that to put a name on it, but no, because the more the sciences are finding, I'm more proud of humanity and thinking that people that can behave like incredible human beings are without the help of a God. That's what I believe in.
All I'm going to say is I don't expect much from these people. And that's my honest opinion. I do not expect much from celebrities. I don't expect much from fashion designers. I don't expect much from wealthy business owners. I don't expect much from politicians. I have issues with many of them. And when you watch their interviews, when you look at their signs and their symbols, when you look at the clubs that they belong to, a lot of them worship the devil. And unfortunately, a lot of us do not want to come to terms that there are people out there that truly, utterly, and 100% worship the devil. They deny God, they deny Jesus. And these people, when they are in their clubs, the people that they hate most are atheists. Because for them, and I've seen this in their own write-ins, they think that atheists are the most dumbest people in the world. That's them. Because they know that the God of the Bible exists, but they reject the God of the Bible. So they embrace the other side. Now, I don't know what she truly believes, but I can tell you right now that she does not accept the God of the Bible. And, like the Bible says, you shall know them by their fruits. I also believe that you can also see how people carry themselves. People get themselves caught up in wickedness. And just like Jesus says, I can't remember the exact verse off the top of my head, but when we carry ourselves, when we walk in the light, and your entire eyes are filled with light. And this is what occurs where people walk in darkness, you start to see that their entire life is filled with darkness. I've seen videos of people that were ex-witches that said, once I got saved, my skin cleared up, my face, my hair started growing back. God does something supernatural to people when they get saved. He starts to heal them, and that healing is from inside out. It's an inside out healing. But when I was looking at this video, I was kind of curious to see what people would think. And there are a lot of, negative comments. Like, for instance, this lady is scary as F. But someone said down here a very interesting comment. They says, I love how people require zero actual evidence to just deem someone as dark. That's true. We're very judgmental. I will give that. Because you do see people that do recover from the other side, but unfortunately they can't get rid of their tattoos, etc. So they still carry aspects of their previous life with them. So that doesn't necessarily mean that they're still part of that previous life. But they go on to say, there's people who look way more normal than her who y'all would never question whether or not how evil they are. But you all just see someone representing themselves and call it that, with that being the only evidence. So ridiculous. And I really like this comment because I 100% agree with them. Because people that carry themselves as normal tend to be some of the darkest people out there. And I made this comment on my channel before. The serial killers have friends. You know, I've never seen an interview with someone that says, oh, the serial killer, yeah, I definitely knew it was him. No, they always say, oh, he seems like such a great guy. I can't believe he did this. He was always such a great neighbor. You know, and the thing is that there's a person that's walking the earth right now dressed in all white, and people cannot see the darkness in this person, you know? And the Bible speaks about this entity, and yet the modern church cannot see this. And I say modern church because the people that came before us could see this entity. And this is what happened. So we'll go and we'll immediately point to her, which I would say is obvious evil. She obviously does not love God. She does not love God. But I'm not concerned about people like her because people like her are very easy to spot. They're not trying to hide anything, which I appreciate. I can respect that. It's the other people, the people that are harder to find, the people that dress the way that they want to be perceived. Those are the people that I'm most concerned about, and those are the people that we should be most concerned about. But anyway, this lady, her name is Michele Lamy, and she's a fashion designer. She's friends with all of these celebrities, all of them. And there's videos of her with, you know, interviews, and they're all cuddled up with her and whatnot. And the thing about it is, I say to my wife that the heart is desperately wicked. And I quote that verse a lot. And the reason I quote it a lot is because it explains so much about the world. When you are not with God, you get yourself caught up in all types and levels of foolishness. So when you're born again and you look at the world through new eyes, none of this makes sense to you any longer. You know, none of it makes sense. But the people that we call our heroes, the celebrities that we adore, when you really get down to the nitty gritty of what they either believe in some type of new age nonsense where they'll say, oh, we're all gods, or we can ascend to be God, or they'll just flat out deny Jesus completely, or they'll say, oh, Jesus sounds nice, maybe I'll look into him one day. When you really look into your heroes, you will find out how disappointing it is when you really get to know them. And that's the reason why we have to continually pray for them. But here I saw this article. It says, darkness is a fashion kingdom, and Rick Owens is its lord. So Rick Owens, that he is the husband of Michele, right? This is Michele, and this is her husband. But what I want to show here is darkness is a fashion kingdom. This could not be more true. Because when I saw this quote, I immediately started thinking about these little dolls. You know, and there are a lot of Christian YouTubers that have made videos regarding these things. These things are demonic. And if you have purchased these things for your family, if your child is walking around with one of these things, please remove this from your life. This is the byproduct of the fashion kingdom. And the thing is that when you look at the powers that be, they love their signs, they love their symbols, they love hiding things in obvious places. They put them on t-shirts, and right now they're making these little animals. They look cute on the surface, but these are demonic figures. They are a representation of demons. And you can go watch some other Christian YouTubers because they've done some extensive videos on this, but you should have no parts with this. And you'll see a lot of these fashion houses get into trouble. They'll do questionable ads with children, with hidden messages in the advertisement. And it's only when they get caught. See, they had hidden messages in these paperwork and whatnot that people called out when you actually sit there and dive into it. But they only apologize when they get caught. And they say, oh, we didn't know about it. It was our production house and it was a creative team. Like, no, all of this is done on purpose. It's all done on purpose to show their allegiance to the powers that be, to show their allegiance to their kingdom, to their false god. And yes, I hate it all. I absolutely 100% hate it all. And what I want to say is that there is something demonic. I want to say, let me rephrase it. There is something spiritual, something spiritually dark in France. And we saw the Olympics, the mocking of the Last Supper. People will say, "Oh, this had nothing to do with Christianity." Please. They were very intentional. There was a lot of Christian tropes. There was a lot of Christian themes, and they want to make you think that you're foolish, but they knew exactly what they were doing. And this was the 33rd Olympics. And again, they're obsessed with numbers. So there's no accident. This is not an accident. This occurred during the 33rd Olympic Games in France. And what most people don't know is that something happened in France during the French Revolution. They persecuted Christians. They started banning the word of God, and they fulfilled Bible prophecy. And I will discuss this on my channel when I start discussing Revelation in more depth. And as you see on my channel, I'll go through Bible studies, and it takes a long time to create these things. It takes a long time to gather my thoughts, because what I see from other YouTubers is they'll try to teach a Bible study, but it's very hard for people to follow along, for people to fully grasp a concept. So it takes me a while to figure out how to simplify things so that I can visually make it as easy to grasp as possible. And when I get into the book of Daniel, when I get into the book of Revelation, these are not simple things to grasp, especially if you're not used to it. And this is the reason why I'm trying to build up to it. So when I do teach it, I teach it in stages. I'm going to build precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, so that you can fully grasp what's going on. But something happened during the French Revolution, and I believe that there's a spirit over France. And it's the reason we need to pray for these people, because there's a reason why the French have these demonic parades. There's a reason why their leaders act the way they act. There's a reason why the fashion industry does what it does. There is something happening there. And unfortunately, we can't see it with our physical eyes, but this is the reason we have to pray for them. So this was just my blind reaction based on what my wife sent to me. Just trying out something fresh. Every once in a while, you got to switch it up. Please like, comment, subscribe. My name is Oscar. I'll see you guys again soon. Take care.